Conan Exiles. Is it worth a buy? Yet, let's read the words of the developer. An open-world survival game set in the lands of Conan the Barbarian. Survive in a vast and seamless world. Build a home and a kingdom. Dominate your girlfriend in dominate your enemies in single and multiplayer. Yes, guys, it's a revisit. I wabbed this when it came out in early access many moons ago and promised you then that I would be back within 2 months. And here I am, 1.5 years later, fulfilling my broken promises. Guys, this game looks terrific. The world is just magnificent. It looks absolutely spectacular, this game. I just love the way this game looks. I love the way the world, it looks like it's been handcrafted. I just love the way it just is. I just like the zones, the biomes in this world, the deserty areas, the watery bits, the luscious greenness of the forests and the arcticness of the Arctic. You know, it just looks great. You know, Mordor, the lava of Mordor. That Mordor isn't a place on here, but obviously, but it just has loads of different biomes with loads of different things that inhabit them. Some of the mobs are absolutely evil in this game. You have king scorpions that will just sting you to death so easily, giant spiders, you've got huge beasties of all shapes and sizes, giant rhinos and elephants. You have tribes, indigenous tribes to the land that are just scattered around that will attack you with their whim, guys. And you have to survive in this. And if all of that isn't bad enough, you've got other players trying to kick your ass, steal your stuff and burn your house down. Well, they can't burn it down, but they can certainly smash it. So there's a lot of danger in this game. So it's a perfect scenario for an amazing survival game. It really is, guys. And not only that, you have the crafting. The crafting is as deep as old Meg's garden well. Honestly, guys, the crafting in this is so deep. It has loads of different categories of what you can actually craft. And the way you craft in this game is so cool. Because as you level up and do stuff, like if you sit on your ass being a lazy twat, you'll get nowhere. But if you go out mining and grinding and mining and grinding and mining and grinding in this game, you will start leveling up and you will get attributes to put in your perk system. And as you're putting in the attributes, you will be unlocking crafting points. And you choose where you put your crafting points. You can choose what you want to specialize in. You know, are you going for the weapons? Are you going for the tools? Some things overlap and you have to learn a bit of both to get there, but there's decorative things, there's building, which you're pretty much going to have to spec into. There's a whole survival tree that you go into, which will unlock lots of things that you'll build for surviving. Because just to build basic weapons, you will need a certain few things. You'll need furnaces to melt down the iron ore that you get from mining and grinding and mining and grinding. You will have all of that. Then you'll have to have a blacksmith bench, you'll have a carpentry bench, you'll have a tanner where you can tan your hides that you get, guys, as you skin the amineals as in this world. And then you need meat. You've got to survive. You've got to stuff your face with chops before you go to bed or you'll die. Well, it's not that bad, actually. You've got to eat a lot. You've got to drink a lot. You've got a food and a water thing going down all the time. And so you have to keep that replenished all the time or you will die. And as you play this game, guys, as you play this game and you start to unlock the wonders of your builds, the stuff that you were building, you build a house, you then build a wheel to break the backs and spirits of people that you capture. You capture them, you attack tribes with your truncheon, knock them out, tie them up, drag them back to your base, and you say, work on that wheel till I break your spirit, feeding them nothing but gruel. And then they will eventually say, oh, you are superior, we will fight for you. In that accent, guys. And then you put them to work as fighters, archers, a priest even. Get them as a priest. Build an altar to your god. You have to choose a god. The character creation, guys, and this is awesome. You start off on a cross, condemned to die. And you choose the size of your muscles, the size of your arms, the size of your penis, the size of your boobs. You choose, guys. And you choose which tribe you're from. You choose who you are. You choose your name, your birthright, and your religion, your god. And as you progress, you build a temple to that god. And as your altars are building and your slaves are obeying, you set out with your friends, if you have any, to conquer the dungeons of the darkest caverns of this land. You will go on a huge journey, for this map is vast. This map is vast. You will cross icy plains, desert plains. You have to take clothes. You have to craft clothes, furry ones, to keep you warm in the winter places. Furry clothes, guys. You need to take furry clothes, or you will die. You need to spec into survival so that you will not be taken at night by the cold. You then have to take battle armor and a battle sword or a shield or a spear and bows and arrows and all other kinds of weapons that you can craft. Be prepared. Fight your way to the dungeons. The darkest dungeons. You may think your path is easy, but no, there is no path. You have to leap onto boulders that are floating in lava. Many will fall.
Watch out!
Until at last you reach the dungeon of Harkatartunde. And as you venture inside this dungeon, you will fight many an ad.
Let's get him.
Where am I?
Until the boss decides to show himself, he will appear before you and you will go,
Oh, well, here he comes.
and he will look at you. And then he'll fall down dead after having a fucking heart attack. What the f***?
How the hell did he
What
die?
in the... Are you kidding me?
World first.
He just fell over.
And you see, guys, this is the problem with this game. It looks great, it sounds great, it has all the tools to be great, but it fails miserably at one thing, and that is the awful AI and combat. That's two things. Yes, you may have all these cool things in this game, but when the AI acts so badly, the combat is just horrific. It's awful. I mean, look at this spider here. Spiders can climb up walls, and they're one of the most agile creatures on the planet. Not in Conan. They can't even negotiate a little fucking cliff. They just sit there and go, I'm not coming down there. That's way too scary. Just keep firing your arrows at me. But they won't hit because the hitboxes are so fucked up anyway. I'm fine. You know, yeah, that's the problem with it. The way the combat goes in this game is when something attacks you, if you roll out the way, it will still keep attacking mid-air where you used to be. It can't fathom that you aren't there anymore. So, I'll get you. You're not there. Okay. That's awful. When you are hitting things with your sword, shield, spear, whatever, you don't have any sense that you're hitting anything. There's no sense of combat. It's just... There's just nothing. There's just nothing. It's like wafting a stick in air. That's all it is. Like get the stick, holding it in front of you and wafting it around. You know, that's all that it feels. And that is such a huge shame because everything this game needed to have is there, except for the AI and the combat. You know, you've even got avatars. Avatars are amazing. I mean, bloody hell, guys, avatars. You know what they are? As you progress through the game, you can unlock avatars on your temple. These are the ultimate from your god. They turn you into these giants. And mine was this ice giant who my god is. And oh my goodness, guys, look at that. How cool is that as you summon it? And I go over and wreck the house of my girlfriend. Yeah, she wasn't happy. And each god, each religion has their own avatar. One of them looks just like the Iron Man from Jason and the Argonauts. It's just awesome. It's so... honestly, this game is so damn good on paper. It is amazing. It is Game of the Year on paper. It is the perfect survival game on paper. But unfortunately, on Deliverance, it just fails. The only scenario where I can see this game being good is in PvP. I joined a PvP server. Yes, that's good. That is good. Surviving, building your house up, surviving on a hostile server with 40 other people. Yeah, that can be fun if there's a few of you. But doing the PvE, it's just... disgusting. Considering it's 2018 and the skilled, talented developers we have out there can't even sort out the AI in combat on a game like this. It's just sad. It's just really sad. And if they could fix that, this game would be amazing. But I have to say, guys, on release, it's just massively let down by the poor combat. Everything else is great. Everything else is good. I can't really fault all the other stuff. There's a few bugs, but man, the combat is awful. The AI is just awful. Placing some of the stuff, the collisions, there seems to be a big problem with the collisions. It's just awful. The servers are a little bit laggy as well, but it's not too bad. We did have a little bit of lag with some of my patrons, but that was mainly the Americans who were playing on a UK-based server, so obviously they're going to get a little bit of lag. But yeah, guys, big disappointment, and I'm thumbing this down with a caveat. I'm thumbing this down because it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. It just didn't deliver what it could have. But let me tell you, if you're only interested in PvP, surviving in a land and building a house, then it is worth a buy if that's what you want to do, because that does actually work. Because you're not really concentrating so much on the mobs, you're concentrating on other players building a house, and the server settings that you have for this are vast. You can set it up so that your buildings are a safe haven and you won't be killed if you're inside. Like, in other words, a player can't damage your house, which is a nice one if you don't want the hardcore, or you can just go full on PvP. The server's for everything, really. So there you go, guys. Big disappointment, Conan Exiles.